What's up, guys? I bring you another review. This time, it's an Animal Planet set, the Mighty Dino Collectibles. As you can see, it comes with 6 creatures, and this is a pretty cool looking box. As you see, Animal Planet there, and T-Rex there, but I can't wait to review each of these and show them to you guys, so let's do We have the Tylosaurus. This is probably my favorite of the whole set, because it's nicely proportioned, decent size flippers, and in the tail, even though there's no tail fluke, and there's no snake-like tongue, but as you can see, the head is the best part, especially the teeth. They look really sharp and nicely painted too and sculpted. Has a pink mouth. And this is a pretty crazy looking paint job. As you can see, there's black stripes on top of the body going down the snout and the tail, and some on the flippers and then on the body. And I like the paint job on this, even though it's really, aggressive and crazy, because there's some blue on the top, then yellow, then between the blue and the yellow there's some like faded green. It's really cool, but I wish the jaws in here were articulated, but I'm fine with this. And this is from GeoWorld. I've never heard of that company, but I don't know why they're in Animal Planet stuff. But here's a stand. There's like 6 stands for the sea creatures, and it's supposed to go in that little hole, so put on like display on your shelf, something like that. Looks really cool. Yeah, it's about like 7.5 inches long. It's a decent size, so let's bring out the Carnegie Tylosaurus. Looks pretty cool. This thing is like, only half its size, but they share a similar patterning, but yeah, this is cool enough. Let me bring out another Tylosaurus. Here's the Collecta, but I still think this one's the best. Well, I still think this one's the best of these two, but this one's definitely second best Tylosaurus I have. So yeah. So that's it for this one. So what should I give it? I think I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I think it deserves it because it's a decent size. So let's move on to the next dino. We have the Ichthyosaurus. There's nothing really to say about this much because it's just, your usual Ichthyosaur. The shark-like fins. But it does have a very naturalistic paint job, unlike the Tylosaurus. It's got some blue with some gray faded in. It mostly has a gray belly. I would say it's kind of fat, though, for an Ichthyosaur. Reminds me of one of the bigger Ichthyosaur species, but does have a really nice head sculpt. This is like my 3rd Ichthyosaur figure in my entire collection. One of them is the red one from the Animal Planet Elasmosaurus set, and the other one being the prehistoric sea life tube. And this is how he fits on the stand. Pretty cool. So yeah, this one's a pretty good size, feels solid, but of course it doesn't float like the others. So yeah, let's compare him to the other Ichthyosaurs. This is like the mom, and this is like, the child. And yeah, here's an Ichthyosaur family. Looks really cool. I think I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. This one's really short because, like I said, there's nothing to say about it. So let's move on to the next dino. Next up, we have the Liopleurodon. This is my second favorite in the set because it does look really cool, and the head sculpt is really nice. And it has an orange tongue instead of a pink tongue. And of course, it is black and white, because black and white is a very iconic color with Liopleurodon ever since its appearance in the Walking with Dinosaurs series. Of course, it was never an 82-foot monster. It was just roughly like 25 feet or so. We see the flippers are decent size, kind of has a long neck for Plesiosaur. But you see the eye looks really cool. See, you can zoom in. There. And also there's no nostrils, but I don't know why they didn't add it. And the tail is kind of long for Liopleurodon. But yeah, it does look really cool. And do like the patterning of the black, you see. It's got like a leaf type deal on its flippers, and then some spots right there. So yeah, let's just compare them quickly to other Liopleurodons. It's the Wild Safari. Here's the Collecta, and then the best one, the Animal Planet one. This one's technically not from Animal Planet, it's from GeoWorld, but I'll still call it an Animal Planet. So yeah, this one might be second best after this one. This one's third, and that one's 4th best. So I really like all of this. Anyway, all of these. And I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. Looks really awesome because Liopleurodon is also one of my favorite prehistoric creatures of all time. So let's move on to the next one. Next up is the Kronosaurus. This one's probably my 3rd favorite. because I really like the teeth detailing, and then the orange tongue. Not sure if the tongue will be orange, but it's likely a pink color, but I really like this. Feels really smooth, not too rough. And once again, no nostrils, but I really like this one. And it says GeoWorld right there, and the flippers are kind of out of proportion. They're a little small, but looks fine to me. And the colors are mostly blue and gray. Now, before I get into similarities with another figure, here's how it fits on the stand. Now the paint job on here is very similar. Looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? Well, I'll bring it out right now. Here's the Carnegie Kronosaurus. As you can see, the paint jobs and the patterning are really similar. See, the tail looks like pretty much the same. And mostly, like, I thought this was like a completely different like paint job until I looked at the top of the head. As you can see how similar they are. Let me clear out the camera. Yeah, as you can see how similar they are. But at least this one is a different sculpt. So I think it's not completely ripping off, but they still kind of ripped off the paint job on this. But overall, this one's still really cool. I think I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. This one's been really short. But, oh yeah, this is like my second Kronosaurus figure in the entire collection, which the other one obviously being the Carnegie one. But let's move on to the next animal. Next up we have in the set is Elasmosaurus. This is a really cool figure. And then what sea reptile set wouldn't be complete without a Plesiosaur? Now, as you can see, this one has excellent detailing on its back. It does feel like a real reptile. And the fins, the neck, and part of the tail are smooth, so is the belly. There is some pretty decent detailing. And here's how it fits on the stand. Looks pretty cool. And then the head sculpt looks really cool, but see some white paint is coming off the jaw and onto the bottom jaw skin. But as you can see, this one once again is the I think it's a copy of the Safari Carnegie Elasmosaurus, like the original one, not the newer blue version, because that one has a completely new paint job. But as you can see, there's like the dots going up the neck, and that one has it right here too. And then like the circles with the black dots inside them, this one has it too. And then the position of the neck is a little different. This one's raising up like the Loch Ness Monster, sticking your head out of the lake, and this one's like leaning down to catch some fish. And also the tail looks a little different. So this was not a 100% copy of it, but still pretty much a rip off of it. Yeah, I think that's it for Elasmosaurus. I think I'll give this one an 8 out of 10 as well. Most of these will be receiving 9 or 8s out of 10. I mean, like 9 or 8 out of 10s. But yeah, still a really cool looking figure. So let's move on to the final dino. In the set we have the Mosasaurus, the hero of Jurassic World. As you can see, he has a really cool paint job, light green, and some dark forest green, I believe. And the head sculpt is probably the best of this whole figure. So he's got some spikes and plating. Does remind me of a crocodile, mostly because of the plating and the color. So he's got some spikes. Mosasaurus didn't really have those, but it's got the same orange-colored mouth like Liopleurodon and Kronosaurus. On the bottom, let's see, it has some less detailing, like most of the figures in the set. Sorry if the camera doesn't want to focus. And see how it fits on the stand. Yeah, that's how it fits. Looks really cool. And the pose of this does look really familiar, doesn't it? Seems like this figure, the Kronosaurus and the Elasmosaurus, seems to be knockoffs of the Safari figures. I'll bring 3 Mosasaurus figures. See the similarities. Yeah, but this Mosasaurus seems a little more friendly than this one. But as you can see, even the body shape is similar. Now let's bring in another Mosasaurus. Here's the original Carnegie. As you can see, these have similar paint jobs. It's like a combination of these two figures. Like, this one has that one's skull and has that paint job. Yeah, let's bring in the last Mosasaurus figure before we end this review. Here's the Jurassic World Mosasaurus. Yeah, and I do prefer that one because that one looks a little goofy. That one actually looks mean and vicious. Yeah, so this one actually looks better. So go with this set over this Mosasaurus set. So, what are we going to give it? I'll have to say an 8 out of 10. I'll have to say an 8. There really is no least favorite. I like all the figures. So yeah, that concludes this review. Might as well bring out all of them. Yeah, that's it for this review. Make sure subscribe, like the video, and comment. So yeah, this is PokeSBeyond signing out.